Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
This is our intro music. And we're back. Episode 2. Attack of the Clones. Sorry. Welcome everybody. So glad to be here. Thank you to everybody that checked out our last two videos, or a video and a half. And today we have a special guest, but before I introduce her, right off the bat I'd like to do the birthday shoutouts. First, we have, our special guest has a special guest, and her name is Taryn, who's been fact checking for us pre-shooting. Happy belated birthday, December 5th. Pan the camera on her. You want the camera on you?
This one, like,
Yeah.
right in my face.
That's your call.
I'm okay.
Yeah, she's okay. Quick shout-outs. My stepmom, December 12th. A good friend of ours, Kat Sella. Say happy birthday to Kat, December 13th.
Happy birthday, Kat.
To my two favorite, I love all my nieces and nephews are my favorite, but Stella, December 16th, and Abby, December 26th. My cousin Rob, December 23rd. So shout out to Rob. Hope you're watching this, and I hope you've subscribed already. Destiny Sparks, good friend of mine. Shout out to her and husband. The Sparks, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks. Sounds like a made-up name, but no, her name is Destiny Sparks. Happy birthday, December 20th. Also, our engineer, his birthday is coming up, December 22nd. I don't know if we'll have an episode 3 out by next week, but because I go on vacation. But if we don't, happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
Last but not least, my nephew in the Philippines. Can you pan the camera to him? Or just put his picture in. Maxiv, love you, buddy. I'll see you in 10 days. Happy birthday, turning 4. Cutest kid ever. Okay, just a reminder for everybody to rate, comment, and subscribe. And like I said, everybody who has already done that, thank you for all the support. We need to go live because that'll give us a lot more content and a lot more funner dynamic for the show. And yeah, like I was saying, this may be our last show before the new year, and hopefully come 26 we'll have our third co-host and more segments, more skits, more extra content and all that stuff. But I'd like to introduce our first lady guest, our second guest, but the first lady of, what are we going to call it, GQZville? GQZ Town. Her name is Miss Pauline Santiago. Pauline, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Add applause effect in post to this. Keep on this audio. We're going to have an audience clap for your introduction.
It's awesome.
So, welcome, Pauline.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys.
And of course, I have my co-host, my co-captain, my Spock, Chancho. Put the camera on Chancho.
I like that, Spock.
He's a Spock to this show. And like I said, when Captain Kirk has to leave the ship to bone some green chicks, you have to run the show.
Man the show.
Yeah, man.
Spock can do that.
Yeah. So, first off, I'd like to... I've already introduced our guest, our first lady guest. And Pauline, we go way back. Like, way, way back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking July 2015.
That's
yeah.
I was thinking like more like back to in the womb kind of thing.
No, man, that's
way back.
In
Fetus
these age,
friendship.
that's a lifetime. You know how culture changes so fast, right? I mean, that's like years in my book. So I got the pleasure to get introduced to Pauline in the Simply D. Shout out to Simply D.
Yes.
Nam, if you're watching, we told them about the show, and we're frequent customers, and we love your spot, and hopefully everybody comes to it too. So that's, yeah.
And I serve there, so.
She started serving there. I was surprised. I was like, hey, what's up? How's it going? But no, I got introduced to Pauline back in the day, and she's a really cool chick, really cool person. She's an aspiring artist, singing, acting. Like
The
I wouldn't say
works.
most, but a lot of people would like to do. And I'm sorry, let me just stop this right quick. And yeah, I wanted to bring you on today to have you basically promote yourself, promote us, but promote yourself as well. And tell the people who you are, what you're all about, why people should look out for you, anything you got upcoming, things that you've done recently. So my first question is, welcome to the Breakfast Lunch Show.
Yeah, no, that was my mistake. My phone had a little typo.
You don't need to explain it. It's called the Breakfast Lunch Show.
Okay, okay.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, okay, look at the camera and tell the people who you are.
No. So my name is Pauline, as you all know. And like Lip said, I met him at Simply Delicious through the Bua sisters. I always get their names wrong.
Sammy, Joe, Kim,
yeah.
Renee. What's up?
Thank you. And I actually did I perform that night? I performed that night, I think.
You did.
I did. I performed. And then got to talking with Phil. Actually, Lip.
It's okay.
You were nice enough. He was nice enough to give me a ride home because I needed to ride home.
you got home on your own that night.
Oh, I did.
It was
I did.
it was
okay. It was another night. Okay. So anyway, we just became really good friends. Bottom line, and since before then or whatever, I kind of just grew up around music because of my mom. So I was really involved in that. And when I was in the womb, apparently she used to have headphones and just kind of place them on her stomach and
Sweet.
make me listen to some, music. And then
Man, I wish
growing,
my parents did that.
right?
My
Apparently it
parents
really
did that,
helps.
but clearly it didn't work. They had classical music going, and they've always told me that. And they're just like, doesn't work. It's a giant myth.
That's how you turned out. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Hanging out in the basement with my friends.
But aside from that, so kind of grew up in that environment. Mom was part of the choir, grew up in that whole church thing, and then was always part of like musicals in elementary and stuff. And finally took it seriously in high school after I did the talent show, and I was like, you know what? No, this is something that I want to do. And
Would you perform at this talent show?
I did Selena, Dreaming of You.
By Selena.
By Selena.
Oh, look, classic track. I have that track.
Yeah, no.
Anything for Selena with an S.
Maybe we can
Yes.
get a little glimpse of what that might have been back in the day.
No,
Little-
no.
We used to play that. We used to do Dreaming of You at our elementary school dances, and that would be the slow jam. And then we'd rush to like all the chicks. Like, okay, who's gonna dance on this? Whatever.
It's such a sad song, though. It makes me cry because I just think of the movie and then I start bawling.
One of J-Lo's.
Do you cry while you sing it?
No. No.
Makeup just running down her face while she's trying to sing.
Yeah, I look like Kim K as I'm singing.
Can you sing a little bit of it at some point on the show?
Possibly.
Sweet.
Or maybe I'll sing
Sweet.
something else. You never know.
I would like to
Does
hear
it have
Selena.
to be
actually.
Selena?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Well, that's the first thing you mentioned, so I
Chilean.
figured. I mean, let's hear it, right? Let's hear it.
Right. Well, no. After that, I just knew I wanted to do music and I wanted to take it seriously. So I started, getting a little bit more involved in it, doing vocal training. Went to an acting/singing academy that was actually put on by Elise Estrada's producer/manager, Adam H. And then after that, I kind of had an even better idea of like what direction I wanted to go into and who I wanted to work with. And then that's just what I've been kind of doing, but lately it's just been a little hard trying to like balance everything. But other than that, got some new music coming out soon, hopefully. Just got to get it all recorded. And
Okay, at the end of the show, you got to tell us, we'll plug all that stuff and tell us tell them where to find it and everything, and we'll post the links and all that.
I just rediscovered my SoundCloud password, so we're good.
Sweet.
We're good.
So, are you from Van? Born and raised? Like
Born and raised, St. Paul's Hospital.
nice.
What up? That's how I got Pauline. No, I'm just kidding. Apparently, I was supposed to be a boy. I came out with breasts and a vagina.
We'll take your word for it.
Well, I mean, we can do a check on the show live to
Breast-
confirm if the fans. Okay, YouTube, post your comments. Next time Pauline comes on the show, do you want us to confirm live if she's a boy or a girl or not?
I'm sure all the audience will love
Jojo on the drums. Hey,
Would
pan
love
to
to know.
Jojo on the drums. You want to be on camera, buddy? No,
No.
he doesn't. Well, I forgot to pan the camera on our sound engineer who's running the show, helping us run the show, but basically running the show. What's up, Q?
Not too much,
You're
man.
Q. You're the quagmire. Or like the Q, like James
quartermaster?
Bond, like quarter. Yeah, the quarterback.
That's the quartermaster.
Quartermaster. Yeah. Schoolboy Q. Mr. Q.
Ice Cube.
So explain your ethnicity, because when I first ran into you,
You thought I was brown.
No. I knew off the bat that you were a mix, and I wasn't sure what it was. But then you were like whispering to me and saying like things in Tagalog. So I was just like, oh, I guess she's Filipino, but she doesn't look full. So
I was whispering
In
things in
his-
Tagalog.
Which
in
ear?
his
Your right ear or your left ear?
I can't remember. I wish I
I
could.
didn't know it was
Possibly the left.
seductive. No. Okay, so how it goes is my dad is full Persian, so I'm half Persian, and then my mom is half Filipino, half Puerto Rican. So
Sweet.
that's where I get the quarters from.
So
But I was born and raised with the Filipino Puerto Rican side, so
Nice.
that's why I know Tagalog pretty well. But I sound whitewashed.
Hey, we
No.
all do. I mean, we're all, for the most part, I think we're all born and raised here. And were you born in the Philippines, bro?
Fresh off the boat.
Hey man, we got a natural over here. So, you already touched on how you got started.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us like what your goals are, like how you're gonna move forward. And you mentioned to me a couple weeks back that you want to fly to LA, do the whole relocate thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your plans in terms of like moving there full time or pursuing it? Like you just gonna aim straight for Hollywood, go full force?
Well, I've just been trying to make connections with different people that I've met along the way.
Sure.
And I have some pretty good connects as far as just like people, like the artists who are trying to do the same thing within the city. And then some people in LA as well who are part of the movie and film industry who know some people. And we're just like, yeah, if you come down, we'll help you out. So like right now it's just mostly networking for me. And then just a matter of getting in the studio, being able to record the stuff that I have written and ready to go, and then just putting that out so people can kind of get a feel of like what sound I'm going for, what type of music I'm trying to aim towards, because I actually used to be a part of a girl group. And
Please tell us the name of this girl group.
well, it's changed now, but
When you guys started?
when we started, it was initially there was 4 of us, and it was called Soul Tree, and the other 3 girls are amazingly talented. And like we all had our unique sound, so we all sounded different. We didn't sound the same, and that could be a good thing and could be a bad thing, as they say. But pretty much what happened is, we did maybe like 1 show together, I think, as a group, and then after that we all kind of got busy, and some of us, like, our schedules just didn't work with the other person's schedules, so we all kind of just like chopped and split up.
So
but-
who was the Beyonce of this group?
Oh, I don't know. I can't say that. But
Who's gonna marry a hip hop legend at some point? Like, which one of you guys are gonna have?
well, no, I'm kidding. No, I don't know.
It's in the making, yet to
No.
be determined.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
But
Early stages.
yeah, two of the girls, they changed their name. Can't remember what they changed the name to, but yeah, they're doing their own thing now, and they're doing pretty well with it. They're more focused on like neo soul, so they're more kind of into that whole genre, and I'm more focused on just like the R&B, like old school mixed with a little bit of new.
So is that your main genre that you want to tackle, like R&B? That's R&B soul.
Yeah, like it's funny too, because listening to it, like, I don't get me wrong, I love the stuff that's out. Like, I love all the Tory Lanes and the Janae Aikos, Tinashes, all that stuff. But I also do miss like the Tamia
Oh.
and the
So Into You.
Tyrese and Genuine.
One of my favorite
TGT.
Tamia tracks.
Yeah,
So Into You.
yeah, no.
The original
So
version. But I like the Fabulous version too, with like her and Ashanti. I kind of like the Ashanti
No,
one.
see, I like Tamia better, not the Ashanti one.
Oh no, she's great. She's gorgeous too.
Yes. Yes.
So, would you say that Tamia is your main inspiration? Like, who's the one artist that you'd say like, okay, that's like who I want to be like, not necessarily want to be, but you know, because everybody's like, I want to be like Michael Jackson. I want to be like Eminem. Like, who's like your one go-to artist that's like, I want to look like her, I want to sound like her, I want her career,
I don't really want to look like
No,
anyone.
I'm not. I didn't mean
I think what
necessarily
he
look.
means is, are there any like
But-
artists that you look up to, you know, that
Definitely.
you aspire to
Yeah, yeah.
maybe be like or better than them?
Yeah,
Definitely,
I
yeah.
mean, there's definitely obviously a bunch, but I'm saying like the one that's like, this is the one.
I can't pick the one. It's
Everyone's
really
gotta have the
hard.
one.
It's really hard. The one. There's maybe like 3. There's like the 3.
Okay, then name the 3. Name the Trinity.
Okay. Well, it's always been about Mariah.
Oh, everyone's heard
Mariah.
That's a good answer. 90s Mariah was the shit. man.
Right?
Favorite track, Honey.
Honey.
Honey. Oh, that was the jam back in 6th grade
The music video for that though, pretty fire.
with the locks.
Dive in the water.
Yeah. Oh, and that skin-colored bikini. Yeah. Love
Of course,
Mariah.
that's the only thing he remembers from
Well, no,
that music
Mariah
video.
was.
No.
I mean, pre Nick Cannon, Mariah was like come on,
Fire,
man. Like,
yeah.
that was the dream. I mean, Nick Cannon's was living the dream. Are they divorced now?
Yeah, she's married
Yep.
to a billionaire.
Oh,
Or
jeez.
dating a billionaire.
She left one billionaire to go to Nick Cannon to another billionaire.
Mm.
Makes sense. I know you don't want to follow that, so okay, name the other
No.
two. Name the other two.
Tamia, obviously.
Good
Yes,
choice.
definitely. You know this. I usually do Tamia covers when I sing.
I haven't been
at
to all of your
MC.
shows. I mean, you did a couple songs at Simply D.
I did a couple of
The ones that we did
mixes.
at the barbecue thing, you were doing like mostly the Aaliyah
Aaliyah
tribute.
Yes.
So no, I haven't actually seen all your performances, so I wouldn't know.
Well,
that's why we're here to find it out.
That's
And
the
for
other
you,
one. Trinity.
so
Aaliyah.
Tamia, okay.
Tamia,
great
Aaliyah,
choice.
and Mariah.
Did you see the the Aaliyah biopic?
Aaliyah biopic.
Well, it was like a made-for-TV biopic, but
Oh, that. Yes. Honestly, disappointed.
very
very
disappointed.
disappointed.
They butchered this. I mean,
They
If you
didn't
seen-
butcher
did you
it,
see
but
Missy?
like
Did-
they
did you
didn't
see the
do
chick who
it
played-
justice. You know what I mean?
did you see the chick who played Missy?
Nothing at all like Missy.
Oh
Mm-mm.
But
Did you see the guy who played R. Kelly?
yeah, I mean, no. But the chick, she's
That's
playing
Kelly.
Storm. Yeah.
Could at least try.
Like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, like,
no.
you know, the scene where she's like, I want to work with Missy. I want to work with... Like, they made her sound so diva-ish.
hmm I'm actually
But-
glad that Zendaya backed out or whatever, because weren't they supposed to go through with it? And that would have definitely put a negative spin towards like that whole situation.
I just hope that you don't diva out on us. I
Diva.
mean, when you're big and living in Hollywood in your mansion, like I said, the Jules. Shout out to Jules. What up, buddy?
Jules.
Please come back. You're welcome back anytime. I
Anytime.
mean, you're officially the first lady of GQZville.
Thank you. I
And,
feel like Michelle
Michelle who?
Obama. Just kidding.
I don't count her as the first lady. I mean, no disrespect to Barack, but I mean, yeah.
Definitely, yeah, no, definitely will not diva out on any of you guys. I love you all.
Yeah, because that's ultimately what we want to see. I mean, we want to get like big names and famous people on the show, but for all the up and comers, we would love to see you guys, you know, do your grind, come back and see, like, watch you grow. Like, you know, go back to this episode and then come back and you're like, holy shit, you sold so many. Well, we don't do CDs in this day and age, but like, oh man, you had so many digital downloads and holy crap, you're doing a video with Nick Cannon and and shit. Oh my
Maybe
god,
I'll
you're
aim a little
married.
higher than Nick Cannon, you know?
It's like, oh my god, you married Nick Cannon? What's going on with you? Like, I'm doing that right now to like compare the two images for when 5 years later. Why the fuck did you marry Nick Cannon? Why did you get
Because
Mariah
he had
sloppy?
Mariah's money.
That's true. Alimony. Hashtag alimony.
He came up in his divorce. Let's be real.
Hashtag breed up. That's right.
But no, like, I mean, with that whole thing, definitely, I would never want to just kind of, you know, just be that person to be like, okay, well, now that I'm at this level, all of you are at this level, so just do not talk to me unless I want to talk to you. Like, that's not how it is. Definitely, you know, if I do get up there and if I do make it to that level, obviously the people who, you know, I care about, like my friends, close friends, family, even if we're not that close, but we just have like a really good relationship, definitely will keep in touch. And I'm going to stay humble. I'm not going to turn into some bougie person that's just like, I'm too busy for you. You know what I mean? It's just because at the end of the day, it's like you wouldn't be where you are without the people who supported you and who were there from the get-go. There are some people, you know, who were there and supported me in the beginning, and then, you know, things happened and you bridges are burned and you lose on friendships, and that's just a part of life and growing up. But at the end of the day, there's no hard feelings, so I would never just kind of be like, bash you, yeah, like, look at me now. No, it's more of just, you know, stay humble, stay true to what you want to do. I'm not doing it because of the fact that I want to be famous and be like, you know, at this standing that other people are not, because I know I have a talent. It's more like I want to do it because it's something that I love to do, and it's something that I want to share with other people, because especially in expression of music, when I write my songs, I don't just base it off of myself or like what I think I want to sing about. I base it off of, you know what, this is how I'm feeling, and probably a bunch of other people feel the same way as I do, so let me just write something that people can vibe to and that they fuck with. Sorry, but yeah.
No, you can swear in the show.
Like,
you can swear. You can do anything,
Potty
man.
mouth.
Take a rental advisory.
Or whatever. Well,
PG-13. No, I'm kidding.
no, I mean that makes total sense. Like you said, I mean you put it perfectly in terms of like what it should be. I mean, we were playing around with this earlier before the cameras were rolling. So I'm gonna say a quote off the top of my head. I mean, I didn't plan this, but I'm gonna say a quote and name where this is from. I mean, I already gave a big giveaway, but if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you think about is singing, then you're supposed to be a singer, girl.
Sister Act.
Sister Act what? Sister Act
2.
what? What else? Sister Act 2? It's got a subtitle on it.
I can't do the subtitle.
It's Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Answered it.
No, I mean, I mean, I just made a quote and bullshit gay reference. Well, not gay. Sorry for all the gay people. Lame reference there. No, but those words are really true. I mean, if you wake up in the morning and this is the first thing you think about, whether it's singing, acting, dancing, etc., podcasting, #GQZ, then that's what you're supposed to do. That's the way I structured this, is like I want this to be fun. I want my guys to wake up and say, not wake up, but like come day of shooting, I want them to say, oh, I can't wait to do the next episode, as opposed to like, oh, I gotta do this podcast thing. Same thing for singing. I mean, if you wake up like, as opposed to our jobs, like you said, you're working at Simply D and you're like, oh my God, I gotta do a shift tonight. Like, you're supposed to wake up in the morning and say, I can't wait to sing, I can't wait to perform, I can't wait to do this and that or whatever. That's what life's supposed to be all about, and you put it perfectly without even me, you know, asking you how you feel about music. I mean, that's a standard, not a standard, but most people don't really say it out loud enough to say that, like, whatever they do, even if it's not an artistry avenue, like whether it's their job, like they don't wake up in the morning and say, oh, I can't wait to flip some burgers or like sell some phones today or whatever.
I feel like if you can't wait to do something, you have to do it, because it's like, why would you feel it that way in the first place?
Exactly.
It's just like, you're just like, it's subconsciously you're telling yourself, like, you know, like, just do it.
That's totally how I feel about this show. I mean, like, this is only our 2.5 episode in, and throughout the week I'm like, I can't wait to do the next one. I can't wait to have Pauline. I want to interview. I mean, I know we're friends off camera, but I'm like, I can't wait to interview her. I can't wait for her first time to be interviewed. I can't wait to
the raw truth. No.
Yeah, the raw truth and everything. No, yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, it doesn't even have to be your career or your job. Like, when you wake up and you feel like, I can't wait to do something, that's supposed to be your attitude. Like my partner Chancho, he plays soccer. He should wake up in the morning and say, fuck, I can't wait to go to practice. I can't wait to play soccer. I can't wait to do anything, right? She wants to, you know what the soccer thing? She wants to, fuck, man. Seth, you're getting that. No, I'm not. Like, that's what he should wake up to, you know? Like, I can't wait. Any of us should wake up to. I can't wait to do this and that, you know? So I mean, that's definitely a positive attitude. That's the right avenue to go. Like, it should not be about the money. Of course, everything we do is motivated by money. Like, we have to get compensated for our skill, our talent, but it should be secondary to the passion. The passion should always be there, and you're definitely on the right track. So,
yeah, I feel like if the passion's there, everything else will just come. Because if people see, like, if they really see and really connect with what you're doing, and they just fuck with you for who you are, then it's like, okay. You know what I mean?
And I definitely, sorry to interrupt, I definitely got to watch you perform more, because, like, I mean, I caught a few glimpses, Simply D, the barbecue, and Belmont. We'll talk about that off camera. But I mean, you just text me the date. Other than, like, when we have to do the show, you just text me the date, and when I'm in town, I definitely want to support and watch you, because I feel like I haven't seen enough.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, it's funny too, because I have people who come up to me and they're always just like, you know, oh, yo, so what happened with you and that group? Like, weren't you in a group? And everyone always expects me to be just salty and bitter about it and to say some ridiculous story or just tell them something crazy that happened within the group. And it's like, you know what? People just, like, they go their separate ways. You can't always, you know, make everything work, right? So, and to be honest, I see myself, like, you know, with everything that we did with that group, like, I just really see myself going a different direction. And the fact that I am more so, like, R&B / whatever, that, like, going towards that genre, and they're more so neo-soul, it's just, I feel like we're going two separate directions, that it's kind of a good thing that maybe we separated, because, I don't know. Yeah, we just had different visions, and, like, 2 of them clicked, and then the rest of us just didn't, so.
Well, I see great things in your future. I mean, I don't mean to sound too fortune cookie, but no, I mean, no, I'm definitely excited.
Why are you so quiet?
I'm
Well, no,
listening.
he's
I'm
gonna
a
get
bit of an observer. I like to watch.
No, he's gonna get his, like, actually, we're gonna lead to his corner in about in a couple of minutes. But the last thing I want to ask you before we get into his segment, and then we're gonna give you rapid fire. I already told you about this. We're gonna give you rapid fire.
Oh my god.
But last thing I want to ask you, like I asked our last guest and any other artist that comes on the show, when it comes to artistry, like us that have to do the 9-to-5 thing, trade, whatever you want to do. I mean, we have the retirement plan, we got the benefits, we got to do this and that till we're a certain age. As artists or like an athlete, like, you know, you can't box when you're 50. You can't play ball when you're 50. You can't dance when you're 50. Singing, you can. Actually, you can singing, like, you know. But that being said, when you are that age of like 40, 50, 60, I mean, obviously you want to keep going in life, as opposed to like, okay, I made all this money or I've achieved this and that. Where do you see yourself as that 40, 50, 60-year-old to, you know, keep going in terms of like things to do, activities? Like, do you want to mentor other up-and-coming artists, or do you want to keep going the distance until you die?
See, for me, I would keep going and keep pushing myself until it got to a point where it's just like, you know what, like, maybe you know, my time has passed and I've like reached a level of success that I'm content with. And then definitely with what you mentioned, I would want to share and like mentor what I've learned and what I've accomplished with the next generation 100%, because I really believe in giving back. So
like, would you see yourself being like an active producer, like hosting American Idol or Canadian Idol, or?
Hell yeah, call me J-Lo. No, I'm kidding. But,
we'll call you Pilo.
Pilo. Nah,
or
I don't know about that.
Pilo. P. Santiago.
Or P. I used to get called P-Dog a lot. P-Dog, Polly Pocket.
Polly Pocket makes sense. P-Dog, I don't know if I'm on board with that. What up, P-Dog? No, nothing. No,
it's not cool enough. Yeah, no, I would definitely, you know, I would do something like that. I also...
Like, do you want to marry a billionaire when you're...
I do not want to marry a billionaire, no. I want to marry whoever I'm going to end up with and be very happy, and it doesn't have to be a billionaire. But I definitely see myself having a family at that age, most likely, probably.
60?
Okay, you know. But, yeah, no, I just want to be able to, you know, continue my legacy and pass it down to...
For sure. I mean, we all want to continue legacy. I mean, the traditional ways to breed and continue that legacy. But in terms of like, even if you don't, I think the best legacy is to leave footprints, you know, to leave a mark, to leave inspiration. Like, you know, I don't mean to allude back to our last guest, but I mentioned earlier, like he was my, like I've already inspired to do this many years ago, but his story pushed me to be like, I want to get this done, because like I said, he did a courageous thing by quitting his daytime job. And that's not easy for a lot of people to do, to say, you know, I'm going to quit my whatever to do music or to be a boxer or to do whatever. Because like I mentioned before, like you need a safety net. You need some sort of guarantee that you're going to get a paycheck. But he said, fuck it, I'm going to let my sales, you know, be my bread and butter. And I can't say I encourage everyone to do that, because not everybody is at the same talent and skill level. I mean, our last guest is, so I definitely don't have any doubts for him. But in regards to you, like I said, I don't advise you to do that. But at the same time, if you did go that route, I mean, we'd be very supportive. We'd be very proud. I'm sure the fans would be proud. So, I mean, that's not something to look into. But at the same time, you got to look at it like, what sacrifices are you willing to make?
I've definitely gotten the talk of, you know, the whole like backup plan thing versus if this is something you want to do, if it's something you love, you got to give it 100%.
Exactly. Especially with our parents. I mean, they typically say, go to school, be a doctor, be a lawyer. I mean, that's the most cliche thing for an Asian person to say. Like, oh, my parents wanted me to do this and that and say, go to school. But it's true.
See, for me, it's hard because I did kind of go that route. The main reason why I am in school also has to do with my mom. So I did it for her. It was her last wish. So, you know, and it's a short program. It's 11 months, like boo-hoo. It'll be done soon. But my thing is, any spare time I have, like even when I'm just on the bus or on the SkyTrain or walking home, I just pop on an instrumental on my phone, listen to it, and start writing. Because the thing is, for me, it's like, it's better to have a small library of all these songs that you've written and all this work than to have nothing and to just be expected to just work on it on the spot. You know what I mean? And then you can just go back and be like, okay, well, I've done this, this, and this. Boom, they're ready to be recorded. Let's go.
For sure.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. For me, I never stop. I never stop writing. I always need to write, need to be creative, because it changes every day for me.
You got to do the 8 Mile thing, like Jimmy Smith writing lyrics on his hand, on the bus, on a napkin or whatever. You know, because some people just wait for, like, I'm going to be talented, I'm going to be discovered, I'm going to sign a deal, sign a contract. It's like, no, you got to be Jimmy Smith and fucking just write nonstop. Like, whether it's lyrics or musical chords or whatever, anything, you got to just keep going. You can't sit around and wait for a miracle. You got to take action.
Like, I definitely feel like it's a lot. You got to work a lot harder nowadays, especially with the music industry. The last overnight sensation I remember, like, growing up, was Chris Brown. Everyone else, you know.
I wouldn't call him overnight. He was definitely.
For me, it was overnight.
I mean, like,
it's like out of nowhere. Who is this? Run it guy. Like,
no, but the thing is, he had talent and skill. I mean, I could talk hours about like his situation versus like a Justin Bieber type of thing, right? But he had skill and talent. I mean, yeah, he did the auto-tune thing, but
like,
yeah,
so did
man,
Bieber.
You cannot deny Bieber's talent. Like, aside from his like bullshit look and his like his gimmicks and stuff, Bieber was like playing all sorts of instrumental at a ridiculous age, man.
Yeah,
like,
but he's known for being an artist, like singing, dancing.
Yeah, but
he can't sing or dance.
The dancing comes later, man. Once you're established, you have choreographers, man, that pretty much line you up with everything. It's part of the show, right?
And
that's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
the one thing you can't deny is the talent and the artistic aspect of all of that, and that speaks for itself. Hence, Bieber is Bieber. You know, as much as everybody wants to rag on him, he's at the top for a reason, because he's talented. And he don't tell me that you've never heard a Bieber track and started bobbing your head, because the music is dope. It's too bad that Bieber's at the end of it, but it's dope, and that you can't deny that, man.
And if the kid wasn't talented, if he was not talented, do you honestly think Justin Timberlake and Usher would have gone head to head fighting for this kid?
Yeah.
Like, come now, come.
Okay. I'm going to do 5 minutes real quick on how I feel about Bieber. And then I'm going to give the floor to Chancho, because it's his corner after this. It's funny because I mentioned this to our sound engineer, Q. Get the camera on you, smoking that stogie. Justin Bieber. I mean, I actually wanted to. Originally, I wanted to dedicate a episode, not this episode, but a episode on like how I feel about Bieber. And you would think that I'm just gonna bash the kid and say some fucking typical cliche shit, but I feel like no. Anybody who's anybody would have done the same thing in his position. But I feel like he's not any more talented than anybody that's come before him. You know what I mean? In terms of dancing and singing. The reason why he's hated so much, and I feel like he's validated hate. I don't know if that sentence makes sense. But, I mean, it's pre-packaged to the point where it's so obvious. I mean, like, you look at his situation, like, yeah, you got discovered on YouTube. But anybody can dance better than him. Anybody can sing better than him. Anybody can look better than him. It's the fact that people look at the screen and you see, like, if YouTube cameras did not exist and this guy was walking in the mall, there would be no flocking girls. But the fact that he was on YouTube and got discovered, different story.
See, I have a spin on that because this is a thing. I mentioned that too. I'm like, you know, there's this one person that I know who's really talented, and sometimes I wonder, I'm just like, why is she where she's at? Like, why isn't someone else who's maybe more talented than her at the level that she's at? And sometimes the thing is, aside from like the talent itself and like the looks and everything, it's just how marketable are you? And if this person, like, they may not be the most talented person in the world, or like someone may dance better than them, sing better than them, whatever, if they can walk into a room and just change the entire atmosphere because they walked in and they just have that je ne sais quoi or that star quality, then that's what you got right there. And if they have talent on top of that and they can somewhat sing or somewhat dance, then there you go. You just work with that,
extra
right?
stuff. Right. No, I mean, all good points. Like I said, I wanted to do an episode on actually defending a Justin Bieber, not just Justin Bieber, but a Justin Bieber, because you look at other artists that have been scrutinized for not writing or singing their own songs, like Ashley Simpson or Milli Vanilli. They got scrutinized for it. But you don't look at, like, what about the producers? You know, because Milli Vanilli didn't say, hey, I want to do an album and I want you to have another singer lip sync over me or whatever and dub my track. No, that was all producer's idea, you know? And when they got busted, they got held accountable, as opposed to like, well, it wasn't even their idea, right? And they're the scapegoat, and that's not fair, right? Because, like I said, the producers look at it like, okay, these guys look good on camera. We're going to get other people who can sing because these guys can't sing for shit. And we're going to make an album out of it. And they sold like hotcakes. And then when people found out that it was just an illusion, they got the blame. They got stripped of the Grammy, as opposed to, what about the producers who came up with the idea in the first place? And that's how I feel like feel about a Justin Bieber. You know, the producers don't get the scrutiny. It's Justin Bieber. They think that it was his master plan to sign with Usher and do a collaboration with Ludacris and be like, I'm going to be famous. Like, no, people look at him like, I can make money off this kid.
Isn't that how they look at it in any scenario? In any
scenario, but then like his marketability, there's like, yo, charming, handsome white boy. Like, I looked at him and be like, he's going to have his hair cut at some point and it's going to be like scheduled, you know, because he had the Justin Bieber like Beatles cut. And I'm like, watch this. They're going to cut his hair in a couple of years to give him that Vanilla Ice look, to be like, oh my God, he's got a fade. And it's going to be like a thing. And sure enough, it happened. And I was like, see, fucking marketing 101. You give him a look, like, oh, he's cute. And then you give him a fade and tattoos. Like, oh my God, he's edgy. Like, it was so prepackaged and pre-planned to the point where I was just like, I can see it coming. Obviously, 14-year-old girls can't. They just look at a handsome boy. But, you know.
The thing is, though, at the end of the day, he had to grow up. Like, he wasn't gonna stay that
like,
mushroom cut.
But I'm saying, like, they say, oh my God, he peed in a mop bucket. Who cares? Who doesn't do that when they're drunk? Oh, he made a racist joke on camera. Who the fuck doesn't say the N-word when N-words and black people are not around? At the same
time, he's under the spotlight, right?
Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm defending him in that, right?
Accountable for all the stupid shit he's doing, even though there's 1,000, you know, however many people doing the same shit
on a regular day. Exactly, because he's famous, or like, oh my God, Justin Bieber's a racist. No, he's not racist. He told a racist joke, but that doesn't make him a racist, because we do it every fucking day. The only difference is we're not on camera.
Yeah.
But to end on that note with Justin Bieber and all you, I mean, we can talk that kid for hours.
Justin Bieber, come on the show, bud.
Justin Bieber,
We're
come
waiting
on
for
the-
you. Van City.
Hashtag
Justin
get the
Bieber,
fuck on the
please
show.
believe
He will be in Vancouver pretty quick here.
Really?
He is.
Yeah.
He is. He's gonna be at Rogers Arena. I'm
Facty
probably gonna be working
McFackerson,
that.
aka Taryn. Do you know his Twitter account?
No, because I only use Twitter for work, so I don't do personal
Well,
things.
Well, the few fans that we have so far listening, if you have Justin Bieber's Twitter account, tweet him in. Get him into this basement. Have him sit next to Jimmy and, have him on our show so he can defend himself as to why he should be liked or hated. But on that note, I am going to ask you some more questions at the end,
Okay.
but I've got to give the floor to my co-host, Chancho,
What's
Mr.
up?
with the
Chancho.
more serious, eloquent, intellectual topics.
Yeah. I mean, aside from the whole musical aspect, we got a couple other things that may have been interesting in the last couple of weeks.
touch on it, brother.
Depending on what interests you or not. Donald Trump. I mean,
Donald Trump.
Donald
everybody.
fucking Trump. Oh man, where to begin with this fucking guy, man? Aside from that ridiculous quaff, he's got a mouth on him that just goes hand in hand with that stupid look, man. Recently, in the news, this guy, after, a week after a mass shooting that was, may have been terrorist related or not, and this guy goes on national news, aside from the fact that he's one of the electoral campaign guys to be the president of the United States, decides to openly speak on a ban against Muslims in the U.S.
Bullshit.
All right, and I mean, at this point, when you openly say things like that, yeah, man, you're gonna blow up the world with like Twitter feedback and everything. At this point, the Republicans are pretty much backing away from him. They want to drop him from his candidacy, and it's a big mess.
Yo, the fucked up thing about that though is, as shitty as us Canadians and Vancouverites as that sounds, there are an abundant of redneck Americans to be like, yeah, man, that guy's right. Fuck the Muslims or whatever.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
absolutely right. It's actually recent poll, 25% of people polled, are supporting this guy and saying, yeah,
because they don't know any better, right?
We are willing
They
to
get
stand
fed-
behind Trump and wage this religious war against Muslims.
It's because they don't want Trump to be like, you're fired.
Yes. Yes.
That is
You're
my input
deported.
of the
Get
night.
out. Yeah,
Nobody wants to be deported by Trump.
Access denied.
Nice one, Pauline. Nice
Thank
one.
you. That's all I have for Donald Trump.
I mean, yeah, it's sad that we're talking about this, but we live in a world where, you give ridiculous people microphones, us,
Hashtag GQZ.
GQZ, and they voice their opinions, man. And a lot of the things people are saying nowadays, may not be politically correct. And at this point, as you can tell in the media, it doesn't really matter whether it's politically correct or not. And yeah, I mean, Donald Trump losing support in the polls for some people. This is probably a very good thing, because before this, it seemed like Donald Trump was doing pretty decent as far as the elections in the U.S. go. And there's nothing more scarier than a guy like Donald Trump being elected president, because at that point, it's Pandora's box, man. You never know what could happen.
What
Well,
about Kanye?
Well, in his declaration to run for presidency.
No, I mean, like,
thought that was
a
a
few years
joke.
back, he's like, George Bush does not care about black people. And obviously, he has nothing to say about Barack. But the thing about Donald Trump, Chanch, is, look, George W. Bush, the junior, the fucking retarded one, we gave that
They're
guy a
all
lot of
retarded.
shit for being George Bush. But he was elected twice. Rigged, mind you, but, you know what I mean? Under the Barack administration, I mean, we've had the same things. We've had economic downfall, just like the Bush administration. We've had the troops in Afghanistan just as long as the Bush administration. So it's becoming a lot more apparent that no matter who you have, whether you have Donald Trump or some actual smart guy like an Al Gore or fucking Albert Einstein, the plan is going to be carried on regardless. So I feel like that's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, he can not be in office, or if he's in office, it doesn't matter what his racist political views are. Some bullshit that we're not going to like is going to be carried out.
That's exactly it. And I guess having said that, it's safe to say that these are all political gimmicks to gain momentum and popularity amongst the masses, despite the fact that aside from the masses having an electoral face and voting for these people, it doesn't really dictate how the country will be run and who will be running the country. Essentially, whoever's in the presidency becomes a puppet. And it's like you say, you see that over and over again, and the same things have been happening that are happening now, 10 years ago. It doesn't matter who's in power. The scary thing is the amount of people that are willing to support someone who's openly expressing their views that may or may not be, on a humanitarian level, correct.
That's true, and I know a lot of comedians have touched on the Muslim issue in a more comedic way, but it's true how the media perceives Muslims as a negative thing. The nation of Islam and the belief of Islam as a negative thing, because they just show the crazy people cheering during terrorist attacks, blowing shit up, and all these violent rallies with AK-47s being shot in the air. But that's not what Islam is all about. Those are extremists. Like Christianity and Catholics have the same extremists. Not as apparent today as it was in like the earlier centuries, where they were openly burning people at the stake, but we don't touch on that. Everyone thinks that Christianity and Catholicism is like a holy thing, whereas it's like they're just as extremist as a modern day Muslim is today in terms of like blowing shit up, causing mayhem. So people think that they're innocent because of what they believe, but no, it's all bullshit. There's going to be an extremist of any form of belief system, whether it's...
That's exactly it, and it has a lot to do with the media and what they focus their attention on as well. And at the end of the day, who's running the media? Those things need to be taken into account, because ultimately you're only as good as the information being shown to you, or the information that you're choosing to read or listen to and whatnot. And at this point, if you turn on the TV, there's a lot of garbage on there, man. And it doesn't let you really fabricate correct views and whatnot, and it definitely makes it in our time now with what's going on with the Muslims, it puts them in a bad light with everything that's happening.
Personally, I've never had a hatred towards Islam. Even after 9/11, I've had confrontations with Muslim people, not because of their beliefs, but just because of their overall attitudes. But I've never looked at them as like people that are like, oh, these people should be wiped out. Like, no, that's just... People in general have to be media smart, no matter what people fucking feed them, whether it's propaganda or whatever. You have to look into the deeper issues, and you have to analyze it a lot closer than your everyday commercials and your everyday news to tell you that this is how people behave, and this is how Jewish people are, this is how Asians are, this is how Latin people are. That's fucked up, And
back to what Chancho said, it's really just based on like what the media decides to show you. Like all we see is, okay, like all these attacks are happening, blame it on them. It's like, okay, and then they classify those people as, so Muslims, they do this, this, and this, A, B, and C, and that's all they do. So this is why we don't want them in our country. But then it's like, okay, well, what about
bullshit?
What about the other half of them? What about the ones who are innocents, the ones who are just trying to get by life and just trying to provide for their families and get through all the bullshit and the mayhem that the other half of their population decided to go crazy and just shoot up the world? And it just
Pauline, can you please write a song
about Muslims?
About Muslims and Jewish people and people in general getting along? Like Michael Jackson,
my friends.
Like Michael Jackson writing "Man in the Mirror."
No,
like you gotta write.
It's a white. If you're black or white, it doesn't matter if you're black or white.
I just came across something on the internet today.
What's up?
Seemed pretty interesting to me. Saturn's moon, Enceladus. That's what it's called. Enceladus is the moon where they found these geysers, and there's a potential for microbial life. This has pretty much all the scientists in the astronomical world, in a frenzy with huge boners over this fucking... They're going to be sending other satellites to explore that aspect, whether if the life there could be Earth-like and is DNA-based, or there's another potential for life. Essentially, they've discovered that because there are geysers spewing vapor into the atmosphere, which makes it extremely easy to grab samples as opposed to like drilling through the Earth's crust, or sorry, through Saturn's surface. It's easier to gather these samples, and they are in the makes of potentially sending another satellite to study those things and see if this microbial life forms do exist, in Earth-like fashion, or if they are DNA based, etc., etc. Yeah, it does get into the whole chemistry of
it's all chemistry and it's all speculation. But
anybody who's interested in more information, there's a
hashtag
documentary.
GQZ Podcast.
It's called Second Genesis of Life, December 14th. It'll be shown on BBC. If that's your cup of tea, check it out. Probably interesting to know what's going on in our solar system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, wait, whoa. Speaking of moons, because I felt like, I needed some news too. I was on my phone and found out that the Christmas full moon is supposed to arrive for the first time ever since 1977, and that the next one after that is not expected to arrive until 2034. So this is going to be your one shot. So if you were born after 1977, this is going to be your one and only shot until 2034 to see the Christmas moon. After that, in 2017, I think they said there's going to be a full moon on Boxing Day. So check it out if you're into that whole science thing.
Sailor Moon.
My 2 cents.
Okay. And then randomly going off to the next topic real quick.
We only got a few minutes before we wrap it.
UFC 194 for those UFC fans watching.
UFC, watch the next fight. We'll try to get it in that before I got to do my thing on Saturday, but
hopefully, we can take a camera and see what happens. Get
I
some
believe
get
we
some
will
input.
be airing it at SD at Simply Delicious, and we have 2 projector screens.
Are you working that night, Saturday?
No, I don't work weekends.
Well, we're not going then.
Well,
sorry, Nam. I mean, I love your spot, but if Pauline ain't working. So.
Yeah, it's pretty hyped up fight. It's been trying to happen for, a year now or something like that. The last time around, Aldo pulled out with an injury. Chad Mendes stepped in on short notice. Kind of got picked apart by the Irish guy, McGregor. And at this point, it's finally...
Mr. Eastwood.
Yeah, at this point, there's no running and hiding, man. It's happening. No injuries so far. Hopefully tomorrow it goes down and we can see somebody get their head kicked in.
Bang, bang.
Nice.
Preferably the Irish guy. No offense to the Irish. This guy's just been talking way too much.
What'd you say about the Irish? What do you have against us lads?
The leprechauns.
The leprechauns.
The thing I have against the Irish is they're after me Lucky Charms.
You're after me Lucky Charms, but you aren't gonna get shit. I've worked with a couple of Irish. They're really pleasant to work with. All right.
Yeah, so catch that fight. It should be good, nonetheless.
Chanch, we got to get into our next segment, but, we'll get into more topics next episode and then the episode after that. But before we end off, we're getting close. What are we at, Q? 58. Yeah, we can go 10 minutes over. We have to... Pauline, first of all, I'd like to apologize if you need to chime in too much on the serious side of the show. But I mean, when we get you in next time, hopefully you'll
be more knowledgeable.
Be more informed, knowledgeable, and
you know
more.
what? My life's been school and work and music and.
Well, understandable, and I mean.
Dedicating as much time as I can to this beautiful girl over here. Who's only in
town
for who's only in town for a little bit,
All right. Well, okay. Well, this next segment is dedicated to you because we're gonna rapid fire some questions at you, and you gotta answer just as fast as you can. They're simple. I mean, I interviewed you.
Bananas.
But these are exactly. These are like 1-word answers. Yes or no, whatever, blah blah blah, and then you gotta bless her kit.
Bless the kit.
You have to bless the kit.
Bless the kit. Well, if someone wants to get off the kit, maybe I can bless it.
Jojo will move.
Or I can sit on Mr. Jonas over there.
But,
yeah.
No, I mean, we're good for time.
Okay.
I mean, this shouldn't take long, but overall, everything went smoothly so far. I mean, definitely if you're a guest on our, whatever next show you appear on, we'll have you chime in more on the more serious stuff. But I definitely wanted to get you to plug your stuff so that the fans of us, as well as yours, know where to find you more and, are more aware of what's coming in terms of your career and what your plans are.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely we got that out of the way, so I'm proud of that. But next time you come, we'll definitely have the format so that you can
Prep me.
Yeah, no, we'll prep. Everybody,
No, man, not at all. Not the
everybody
same.
out there, we'll
And
get
it's
this thing
chili,
right. We'll
it's
get it
chili.
right.
Remember
Look
that.
at, you look like a chili.
No, chili. She looks
Oh,
like
you like
What do
chili.
Chileans look like?
Apparently a chili.
No, not at all.
Okay.
some chilies.
We bond on the
Yeah, we
on the
gotta eat
Latin
after this.
side.
I'm starving too. We gotta go. You don't even have the chilies in Vancouver.
Okay,
That's fucked up.
rapid fire up
Rapid
in
fire,
this
okay.
hoe.
Rapid fire. At some point, you're lucky because we haven't broken
know
it
what?
down and divided it properly to the point where you have to pick. But I will ask you some randoms as well as some personal sexual stuff.
I like the Get Smart voice. That was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't catch that reference. Nope.
No. But we'll get it better. Like, hopefully you come back and we'll have this thing properly down. That way, when you pick, it's totally 100% random. But at this point, I'm gonna do mostly personal, but I'm also gonna get other stuff like music, art, sexual, rapid fire for these questions. And I'm gonna give you. We gave what, Jules? We started off with 1 minute and a half, but we ended up going 2 minutes. So straight up, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to answer as many questions as you can.
Put me on a timer.
You're on a timer.
I'm on a timer.
It's a good
So-
thing. It'll end quick.
It'll end quick. Yeah, exactly. So you can't think. You can't think about them too much. You just got to be like, okay, boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready for the rapid fire question segment?
Do I have a choice?
You don't have a choice.
Exactly. Okay.
After that, you don't have a choice because you're gonna hit the drums when our boy Jojo gets off. No, you can sit there for now. It's all good.
Eat your bread.
Eat your bread, chill on your spot, chill in your corner. But it's time for a rapid fire session with our guest.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Am I ready?
Clock starts now. PC or Mac?
Mac.
Dating, would you date black or Asian?
Black.
Black or white?
Black.
Black. I fucking told you what you do.
I love knickers. Let's just put it
Hey,
out
that's with a K. That's not racist. You said
yes,
it with a K.
I said it with a K.
Go karting or paintball?
Wait, what?
Go karting or paintball?
Paintball.
Mexico or Thailand?
Mexico.
Mexico. I'm going next month. Massage or facial?
That's a tough one for girls. Massage.
Chucks or Vans?
Vans.
Dance night or karaoke? Obvious.
I'm like, really? You can answer that one for me.
Well, dancing question. Cabo Modern or Fanny Pack? I don't know if you watch ABDC, but Cabo Modern or Fanny Pack?
Kappa.
Cabo.
Yeah.
Quest Crew or Super Crew?
I like Quest.
Nice.
Quest.
Skydive or bungee jump?
Skydive.
Nice. Favorite body feature of yours you're most proud of?
Favorite body feature that I'm most proud of? Probably my smile.
Nice.
I was gonna be like, my boot.
Movies. I'll get into movies real quick. Maybe a couple. Favorite Ryan Gosling movie that isn't The Notebook?
Ooh, that's probably the only one I really know.
No, it can't be Notebook.
Drive.
Sure. That.
You're held at gunpoint. What do you watch? Geely or Glitter?
Glitter. Definitely.
Music. Jay-Z or Kanye?
Jay-Z.
Most Def or Talib Kweli?
Only because I don't really listen to Most Def, so I'd go with Talib. Sorry.
We're overboard in 2 minutes, but I'm going to ask you a sex question anyways. Netflix or chill?
Chill.
Average sex or quality meal to your liking?
Quality meal to my liking. Is this real?
Oral sex. Give or receive?
Receive.
Nice.
Hobbs.
Have you had sex in public?
No.
Favorite position?
I like to be on top.
Last one.
Rat it. No, I'm kidding.
Last one, and it's the very last one of the sex category. Spit or swallow?
Can I not answer that?
We're all spitting.
We're gonna cut it this way. We'll have a spit emoji.
It depends on the person that I'm with.
Okay, no,
There you go.
you did great. We went well over 2 minutes. We're almost. No, but you did good. I like I said, next time we'll break it down into a specific category so that it's not just
Sexist.
not just sex. But we are now to the end of our show. You only have 30 seconds to give us your best drum rendition.
Get her done.
So we're gonna get her done. Bless our kit. And like I said to you off camera before, don't look at it like, oh, I can't play the drums. It doesn't matter. The fact that you can't play the drums is even better. Just fucking hit it as hard as you can. Do you want to? Oh yeah. No.
Maybe we can get like maybe 20
Okay,
seconds
give us-
of some vocals.
Yeah.
here.
Okay. We're at an hour. Okay, give us 20 seconds of vocals.
Her voice is banging, right? And
Exactly.
she's
Yeah.
banging now, or she's banging her
Yeah.
voice?
Sing "Dreaming of You" for 20 seconds, like our Facty McFacterson, Taryn said.
Oh, I did it.
And then after that,
No,
hit
I'm
the
not
drum
gonna do
kit.
"Dreaming of You." I'll do something else. It's just
Yeah, you gotta
it's
give
gonna
it
make
to
me sad.
Okay, sing anything you want. We won't do instrumentals, but sing anything you want for 20 seconds. Floor's on you. I'm gonna start the timer.
Give us some range.
You have some range, and after that, you're gonna go nuts on the drums. Just hit it as hard as you can for 30 seconds. But give us some sultry stuff of your singing voice.
Some sultry
The
stuff.
clock starts in 3, 2,
What?
1.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, I think I'm gonna break it down to Sintomia here.
Okay, listen to me.
Okay. I'm just gonna do the chorus.
Do the
Okay,
chorus.
nothing special.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, here we go. This is live. Fuck. Okay.
It's not live yet, but go.
Ooh, can nobody do it like you? Said every little thing you do. Hey, baby, said it stays on my mind tonight. I'm officially. Woo!
Ouch! Ouch! You did it perfectly. It was on time, and that was on point. Yeah.
Improv.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Wow.
Bit of
Wow.
a, bit of a. Uncle.
I'm an even bigger fan now. All right, let's end the show.
Now it's time
Bless
for
the
the
kit
sad,
and
terrible
sign off
act
on
that's
it.
about to happen. Okay.
Let's do this. All
Okay.
right, we'll get the camera panned on her.
We'll edit the rest of this out.
Yeah.
You're good.
Walking.
Walking.
Still
Unless somebody falls while moving, that you should keep it. So
Well,
Is the bread still?
no.
it's here.
I'm sorry for talking. I can't stay quiet for that long.
Okay.
It's okay.
No,
I
it's
really
fine.
can't.
To have you in the background, no, this is
I have
good.
a lot of opinions, and trust
That
me, I
was
held
the
back a lot.
slowest.
Hey man, you're our potential co-host if you're into it.
Totally, right?
Oh, I wouldn't shut up.
Oh, that's good. That's like disputing.
It's gonna be
Wanna
so
download
rad.
That's the whole point.
No, that's the point. Like I told you. What did I say?
Oh, that's
If you can
rad.
drum, good. Drum, don't drum.
This actually reminds me when I was little. My older brother plays the drums. He was in, like in a punk rock band. I was like, and like our basement was kind of like this. We had a drum set. It kind of reminds me of it.
Everything reminds
30
me of when you were a
seconds on the
child.
clock.
Yeah, well, my dad was pretty fucking popping. I'll say
I
that.
have to
Ready?
like test these out because I don't know what.
No,
anything
just
sounds
don't
like.
test it
Okay.
out. Just hit.
Fix the
Hard
camera.
as you.
Wanna watch
Okay.
it or what?
How
No, it's
does
good.
it
You sure?
feel?
Hit
Can you
hard as
sing
you
it
can,
then?
as fast as you can. 30 seconds on the. Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Boom! That was Pauline.
You suck.
That was Pauline Santiago
I
on the
do
drums.
not play
signing off.
drums.
It doesn't matter. That was great. Thanks everybody for watching. Follow her on. Well, we'll post the links below. Peace out. Zam, say peace. Everybody say peace. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. And cut.